right, not too bad. Before we get started with our show, I just have a couple of quick but important rules and announcements. First and foremost, the Long Island Aquarium and all of its properties are non-smoking, so please refrain from smoking while visiting with us today. Next time, we give you lots of those maps, papers, and pamphlets. It can become breezy up there in the Coliseum, so please be sure to hold on to everything nice and tightly while you're up there, as well as taking all personal items and trash with you when you leave. Anything blowing into any of our animals' outdoor exhibits could be extremely harmful, even fatal to the animals that live there. Next, that center staircase and side ramp do make up our one and only emergency exit route, so please keep them free and clear at all times. And lastly, our show is going to be just about 10 to 15 minutes long. We ask that you try to remain seated up there in the Coliseum for the entire duration of our show, as any getting up and moving around can be very distracting, not only to the guests still enjoying the show around you, but also to our performers right down here on stage. However, we do understand it is raining out here, or if there is an emergency, you are more than free to exit. We just ask that you do so quickly, quietly, and completely. Please exit along the back wall for me and do not approach this half wall in front of me at any point in time, as we will be working with wild animals right up here on stage. But alright, with all those rules and announcements out of the way, I asked you guys how you were doing before. You made a little bit of noise. I know it's a rainy day out here, but it looks like a lot of you are skipping out on school today. I think you can make a little extra noise, so what do you guys say? Are you ready for a show? Well, that was much better. Hello and welcome to our California Sea Lion Coliseum, sponsored by Bridgehampton National Bank. My name is Alyssa and I'll be the host of your show. And joining us right up here on this little seat in just a moment is going to be the Sea Lion superstar of your show. She goes by the name of Neela. Neela is the newest addition to our Sea Lion team. She's just about 4 years old, weighing in at a very adorable 75 pounds. And joining myself and Neela this afternoon is her good friend and trainer, Nicole. Now you guys did an excellent job making noise for me before, but this is where all that noise and applause really does count. Let's put those hands together and welcome your stars to their stage. That's right, it is Neela and Nicole. She's greeting you all with that great big wave hello to welcome you to her segment of our show. Hi there, ladies. Now, folks, if you see anything you like, anything at all, don't be shy. Be sure to let your stars hear it. They really do appreciate all of your applause. And that is perfect, just like that. But little Neela here actually has a really incredible story. She's very special to us here at the aquarium. You see, she's actually a rescued animal, so she comes to us off the coast of Southern California, right near Santa Barbara, where there was a massive sea lion stranding crisis about 3 years ago. Now, this massive sea lion stranding crisis was due to overfishing, as well as climate change. So basically what was happening was the population of schooling fish was drastically decreasing due to that overfishing. And what was left of them was just traveling farther and farther off the coast in search of the colder waters that they like to swim in. It was becoming really difficult for smaller animals like Neela, who were just weaning off of their mothers, to make those big trips out to get those fish for themselves just yet. They were just too far out there and these animals were just not big or strong enough. So what was happening? They were winding up back on our beaches, really, really sick, malnourished, dehydrated, and pretty much starving to death. Now, this was little Neela's case, but very luckily for Neela and hundreds of other animals, there were tons of rescue and rehabilitation centers out there that were working really hard for that, and she was picked up by one of those. Let's give her a nice big round of applause. She's doing a great job out here for us so far. Now, as Neela was deemed non-releasable by the government due to lack of survival skills, so a little bit more specifically in her case, she was very, very timid around other animals. And when she was presented with her food for the day, she was just dropping her food and running in the opposite direction. So obviously not a desirable quality that we would want to see in a wild animal, especially when there already was that food shortage. So the government did deem her non-releasable. They searched for a forever home for her where she was never going to have to fight for her food again. And we were very, very lucky to get that call and be selected as Neela's forever home. Now, as soon as Neela got here, she started participating in our training program right away. And she has been doing an excellent job so far, as you guys can see. Now, some of the first behaviors that Neela learned here with us are things called husbandry behaviors, and that's just a fancy word for her medical behaviors. So as you can see throughout our session, Nicole has been looking over Neela's body, both her back as well as her belly side. She's also trained to allow us to touch any part of her body. As you can see right now, Neela's receiving some eye drops. Now that is just a simple saline solution eye drop, and it is just for practice. In their elderly age, sea lions are known to develop cataracts, so if she ever did develop cataracts or any other sort of eye problem, we'd be able to switch those drops out for medicated ones, and it doesn't become a scary thing for her. But you know what, guys? Neela is a pretty small animal. This is just about going to wrap it up for her segment of our show. Let's give her a great big round of applause. Thank her for coming out here today. Now, if anybody has any further questions about Neela or her amazing journey to us here at the aquarium, please feel free to come on down here and ask any of us after our show. If you guys would like to know what you can do right at home, that way you can help prevent some of that overfishing, you can always visit seafoodwatch.org. There you can find a list of sustainable seafood that you guys can be eating right in your homes. That way you don't contribute to that overfishing crisis. If you'd like to know what you can do right here in the New York area to help local marine life, also be sure to visit the Riverhead Foundation for Marine Research and Preservation. They're housed right here in the aquarium, right through that hallway to your right-hand side. They are New York State's one and only nonprofit organization that helps rescue, rehabilitate, and release sick and injured marine life right here in the New York area. But you know what, guys? You are actually in for a very special treat this afternoon. You just got to know Neela a little bit, but we do have two other sea lion superstars, and you guys are going to be meeting a second sea lion superstar. And she goes by the name of Bunker. Bunker is our adult female California sea lion. She just turned 16 years old yesterday, and she weighs in at a very ladylike 200 pounds. Now that is the perfect weight for an adult female, as they typically max out at about 250 pounds. But you know what, guys? You guys made a pretty decent amount of noise for Neela, but Bunker's about 4 times the size of her. I think we're going to need to make about 4 times the amount of noise. Let's put our hands together. Welcome her to the show. Now, just like with Neela, if you guys see anything you like, anything at all, don't be shy. Be sure to let your stars hear it. They really do appreciate all of your applause. But you know what, guys? I just realized something a little bit embarrassing. Neela came out here, she stole the show a little bit, and I haven't given Nicole and Bunker an opportunity to say hello yet today, and no, that is just not right. It's not right, so we are going to have to pause the show and let these two have a proper greeting that they both deserve. But you know what, guys? It looks like you fooled most of your fans out there, and I know that these two are much closer than a flipper shake would suggest, so let's try that greeting again. This time, don't hold back. With a nice fishy kiss on the cheek, very sweet, you two. It does take a whole lot of trust and a whole lot of teamwork when working with wild animals like your star Bunker. Now we know here at the aquarium it can become difficult to tell the differences between California sea lions, such as your star Bunker, or their cousin, the true seal, such as gray or harbor seals you may have noticed in the very first exhibit while entering today. So with Bunker and Nicole's help, we're going to be pointing out some of the differences between the two species for you. And one of the very first differences can be found in the noises that they make. Bunker here has been practicing a beautiful song for all of you, so I'm going to let her take it over and serenade you.
Cantando. Canta mejor que mí.
Great job, Bunker. Let's give it up one more time for our singing superstar. Bunker was just demonstrating the typical barking or roaring noise made by California sea lions. Their cousin, the true seal, makes more of a snoring or a grunting noise. The next difference can be found in a sea lion's ears. If you take a close look at the side of Bunker's head, you'll notice she has small external ear flaps, and Nicole's pointing one of those out for you. Now those are known as pinnae. True seals lack those pinnae, and instead they just have small circular openings behind each of their eyes. The next difference is found in a sea lion's front flippers. Sea lions have very long and very powerful front flippers. She's going to give you a great display of both of hers right there. Now, sea lions use their front flippers to pull their bodies through the water, just like you or I would use our arms while we swim. True seals have front flippers as well. Theirs are just much shorter, and they use theirs in the opposite manner, using them to steer their bodies through the water. But you know what, guys? Bunker's front flippers are actually so powerful out here on land, she can support her entire body weight on just those 2 front flippers alone. So, Bunker, why don't you wow this crowd with your strength? Great job, Bunker. That is very impressive, lady.
Saludos.